guys, so today I have my February favorites for you guys. Hopefully I'm not like blending into the wall. I just realized I'm wearing black and my wall is black. So hopefully I'm not just like a floating neck and head. But anyways, I'm really excited actually that February is over, or almost over. I am just not a huge fan of the first 2 months of the year, I guess. And I'm sure you guys have heard me say this before, I absolutely adore like October, November, and December, and like the later years of the year. But I just, when it gets to like after Christmas and the New Year, I don't like it. I absolutely despise January. I just feel like nothing good ever happens in January. And February's been an interesting month. So anywho, I don't have like a ton of makeup favorites this month, but I still do have a good chunk of favorites that I think you guys will enjoy. So let's go ahead and get started. So first I'm going to talk about food or drink type things. So I have two favorites. One of them is upstairs in my fridge. It's the TAZO iced chai tea latte. That's like the only drink that I tend to get now at Starbucks. I've been getting it for months. I love it. It's just chai tea, which it's like a black tea with like spices like cinnamon and some other stuff in there. It tastes like fall. Like, it's just the best drink ever in my opinion. But basically it's just the chai tea mixed with milk, and it tastes so good when it's with ice and it's just freezing cold. Oh my gosh, it's amazing. And I found the mix at Walmart, so I don't have to pay $4 for a grande anymore. I get to pay $3.48 for however many glasses I would like in a day. So I absolutely adore it. I will try to insert a picture so you guys know like what it looks like in case you also happen to love that drink. So yeah, hopefully that'll be inserted somewhere. And then my second like food related favorite has been gummy worms. For some reason I was like craving them at the beginning of the month, and I just love gummy worms. I've been hooked on them for a couple of weeks, and it's bad. It's really bad. So one more thing before we get started, I am going to be putting all of the products I'm going to talk about on Lovocracy, which is a page where you can look at all the stuff, like look at all the favorites that I'm talking about, and you can purchase them on the site. So I think one of my subscribers put it in a comment on one of my other videos to check it out, and the name sounded familiar, and I've heard a couple other girls since then talk about it, and it's a really cool thing. I think it's an actual website. I know you can definitely get an app on your phone if you have a smartphone. So anyways, I'll have a link to that down below so you guys can check out all of my favorites in one place, and you can even buy things if you are interested in any of them. So now we can get started into the beauty stuff. So first, getting into skincare, I mentioned these products in my recent haul video. I've had these for at least, well, I think I've had them for like 3/4 of the month, so pretty much a good majority of the month. But these are the First Aid Beauty products. I have the face cleanser, the facial radiance pads, and the ultra repair cream. I have never had like a skincare system whatsoever. I literally have always been using drugstore products. Not that those haven't worked for me, but I thought I would go ahead and venture out and try some new stuff. And I absolutely adore this cleanser. I love all three of these products, but I could rave about this cleanser for days. Like, I just love the way it feels on my face and after the shower. It does feel a little tight, but that's what the facial radiance pads are good for. But I love this stuff. Like, seriously, like, you know, whenever you use like a facial wipe and you get all, or you think you get all of like the mascara and eye stuff away from your eyes, and then you get in the shower and like the hot steam and just the water like kind of helps melt away any of the excess, and you come out and you have that like black line under your eye from all the like extra eyeliner you have on. This stuff just completely eliminates that. I love it. I use this in the shower. I use just a little bit in my hands first, and then I lather it up on my face, and I just rub it all over my eyes, all over my face, my neck, and my face just, it feels so incredibly clean. Way cleaner than it did before. I used to just use a facial wipe for my makeup, and then I'd use an exfoliator, and I would still always have like a little excess makeup under my eyes. So this stuff has just completely eliminated that, and it just makes my face feel squeaky clean. And then after, I like to use the facial radiance pads. It just helps to tone your face, also helps to brighten and get rid of like dead skin and all that good stuff. So I don't know, I really love these as well. And then to complete the little system I have going, I bought the Ultra Repair Cream earlier this month, and I love this stuff. It's just an amazing moisturizer. I honestly thought that all moisturizers were going to be the same. I've been using the dry dry skin cream from Pond's, which, I mean, I'm sure it moisturized my skin, but a lot of times it just felt like it was sitting on top instead of actually getting in there and moisturizing. And this stuff, it's like it feels like a heavier cream, but at the same time it soaks into my skin so nicely, and I really feel like it's actually moisturizing my skin, and my makeup feels good when I put it on, and I feel like it looks a little bit better now too. So I have been loving this system. I also feel like since I've been using this for most of the month now, I barely have any breakouts. If I do, it's just from this stuff bringing any excess like yucky stuff to the surface and really helping me get rid of any of like the bumps and texture. So I have been just absolutely adoring this system, and I would highly recommend it to anybody. So continuing on with the skincare theme, kind of, I have two products from Lush I wanted to talk about. The first one is the Bubblegum Lip Scrub, and I think I mentioned this in like my first YouTube video, but my lips have a lot of like fine lines, and they tend to like chap pretty easily because I'm just one of those people who hates water. Like, I don't like drinking water. Like, if I have the option of water, apple juice, or cranberry juice, I really don't know, I'm going to choose the juices over water. I don't like water. I just don't. However, I mean, I say that, but I'm actually right now hooked on lemon water by Nestle. I don't know, I have a couple bottles over there. I've been drinking a ton of water recently just due to the fact that I've felt so crappy and under the weather. But aside from being sick, I really don't like water. But anyways, back to the point of the lip scrub. I have never had a lip scrub before, and I know you can totally make these by yourself at home, but I just went ahead and picked one up from Lush because I know they're pretty known for it, and I really have been enjoying this. I use it either once or twice a day. It depends on my mood or if I'm going to wear lipstick. So it gets off all like the dead chapped skin, and then I moisturize really nice and heavily afterwards, and then I can take that lip balm off and apply a fresh lip color, and it just looks 10 times better than it did before. I feel like I have a lot less dry patches on my lips, like with lighter colored lipsticks. It's not as noticeable now. So I've been absolutely adoring this. And then the other product I wanted to mention real quick is the Sympathy for the Skin Hand and Body Lotion. I bought this one in store, and it has the fresh bananas in it. That's what kind of made me want to buy it was the banana part. It doesn't smell like bananas, so don't be fooled, but it is amazing at moisturizing your skin. I have super dry skin in the wintertime, and this stuff just really helped bring my skin back to life basically, and I'm not itchy anymore. This is just an amazing moisturizer, and I would highly recommend either of these products. So next, moving on to hair products, I have two things I want to mention. The first one is the Pantene Moisture Mist Detangler. My best friend Taylor, or Total Glam XO, she actually introduced me to this stuff probably like a year ago now. I'm not entirely sure on how long it's been, but I go through about one of these a month. I love this stuff, and it just helps to detangle my hair. I didn't used to need a ton of it back when my hair was short, but now that my hair is actually growing out and getting longer, I have a ton of tangles on the bottom, so this stuff has just been saving my hair's life. Also, the smell of this is amazing. It just smells like all those delicious like shampoos and conditioners that they use in the salon. Like, I don't know, I love the way this smells. Also, I feel like this helps like my curl in my hair. It kind of helps make it a little bit more curly. So I have been just adoring this stuff for months and months, but I thought I would go ahead and mention it again real quick. And then the other product I wanted to mention is a dry shampoo. I've changed up my hair care routine, kind of. I used to wash my hair every single night, and I stopped doing that. I will condition my hair every single night, but I only wash it like every other night or every 2 nights, just because I feel like my hair can actually get away with that. But when in between washes, I've been using the Pssst dry shampoo. I really like this stuff. I think you can find it at Ulta, and I'm not sure where else offhand, but I'm pretty sure that's where I got mine, was Ulta. And yeah, I really love this stuff. It leaves a nice white cast, so I actually feel like there's stuff sitting there absorbing the oil. So after you spray it, the white cast is like finally set in, you go back in and you massage it in, and I feel like this stuff just really helps absorb all of the oils, gives you a good amount of volume, and just makes your hair look more fresh and like you just washed it. So I really have been loving this. Another hair favorite though has been this little hairstyle. I'm not sure you'd call it a hairstyle, but literally all I've been doing is, like on my lazy days, which happens to be almost every day, but I twist my hair up and then I just wrap it around the little twist, and I wrap a pony around it twice, pull out the side, and bam, I am done. I kind of look presentable, so that's definitely been a big favorite of mine this month. Alright, so now I have a couple makeup favorites I wanted to mention. The first one being my Lorac Pro palette. I've had this for a while. I think I've mentioned it in a favorites video before, but I've kind of set it aside for a couple months and I just picked it back up and I love it. Mainly the matte shadows on the top. I actually just used this in a get ready with me video, so I'm not sure if that's going to be up before or after this, but stay tuned for that. But I just adore this palette. Like, all of these matte shades are so buttery and creamy. I've been using pretty much all the matte shades up until Espresso. I just don't reach for these last two dark ones that often, but I just, I love this. I love using like cream. Today I used cream all over the lid, white in my inner corner and brow bone, and then I just took Sable and ran that through the crease barely. Like, it's just an amazing everyday palette. Like, you can use this. I mean, I just could rave and rave about this palette. I think if you're debating on picking up the Lorac Pro or one of the Urban Decay palettes, choose this one. It's a couple dollars cheaper and I feel like it's way more versatile. You have so many different looks you can do with this. You can do daytime, you can do nighttime, you can just smoke it out, you can glam it up, you got tons of shimmer shades. Love, love, love this palette. My next favorite is actually in a palette, and it is a bronzer. It is this bronzer right here. This is Nars Laguna. I have been loving this bronzer to death. I pretty much use it every single day, and what I love so much about this one is that it looks like super dark brown, but it actually shows up like more sheer than you would think on the skin, and I just really love that. Especially being fair-skinned like myself, this just works really well with my complexion, and I don't know, I've just really been adoring the bronzer. Next, I have a foundation favorite. This is the Covergirl Clean Whipped Cream Foundation. I did a first impression little review on it. I will have that link down below in case you guys are interested. But I've not been wearing this like every single day. I kind of try and switch it up with my foundations just to try out new things. But every single time I wear this, I get tons and tons of compliments on my complexion and just my skin in general. And I love this foundation. It's an amazing coverage. It's just, I love the texture of it and I love the way it feels on my skin. It doesn't really look like I'm wearing foundation when I do wear it, so it's definitely been a huge favorite of mine this month. Alright, and lastly for beauty favorites, I have a blush I want to talk to you about, and it is the MAC Well Dressed blush. I've had this one for a while now, probably close to a year, and this is just my holy grail do or die blush. I absolutely adore this blush. My stepmom was talking to me because she was making a comment on how much blush I own, and she was like, you only need one blush, and I was like, what? No. But then I was thinking, I was like, you know, if I could only use one blush for my collection for the rest of my life, it would hands down be this one. It goes with absolutely every look. You can't overdo it. I mean, it's got a good pigmentation, but it's not like where you have to be like super dainty and careful with it. Like, you can swirl your brush around, put it on, and it'll still look really flattering. I adore, 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 adore this blush. I cannot say enough good things about it. Holy grail blush. If I could only use one blush for the rest of my life, it would be this one. Alright, so now I'm going to go ahead and mention a couple music favorites for you. I do think that Spotify has an option to like follow people, so if that is true, I'm going to leave like my link or something down below, so maybe you guys can follow like my playlists and see what I've been loving for months. I've been thinking about doing like monthly playlists, like I'll do a March playlist, and that way you guys can follow it all month and kind of see what I've been listening to. But either way, I'll have that linked down below as well as with the songs that I'm going to mention. So the first song I've really been liking is called Take Me Home by Cash Cash. It's featuring a name I don't know how to pronounce, but I have been loving that song. Loving. And then also I've been loving Once Upon a Dream, the little remix type thing that they did with Lana Del Rey for the movie that's coming out for basically Sleeping Beauty. So I just love how eerie and beautiful, like how, I mean, that was just so well done in my opinion. And then let's see here, I've been loving a ton of country music as always. I just cannot seem to get away from this stuff. So let's see here. I like Jason Aldean's When She Says Baby, Cop Car by Keith Urban, Cold Beer with Your Name on It by Josh Thompson, Get Me Some of That by Thomas Rhett, Merry Go Round by Casey Musgraves, Radio by Darius Rucker, The One That Got Away by Jake Owen, Sunny and 75 by Joe Nichols, Up All Night by John Party. That's still a huge favorite of mine. It's my ringtone. Like, that's how much I love it. And then Drink You Away by David Fanning. I think he did like a cover of it basically, because I think Justin Timberlake sings that one as well. And then, I don't know, I can't think of, I think that is it. Yeah, I think that's about it for this month's favorites. So yeah, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video, found some new beauty products or some inspiration for some beauty products, but I will talk to you guys in my next video. Bye!
If I was your girlfriend, I'd never let you go. I could take you places you ain't never been before. Baby, take a chance so you'll never ever know. I got money in my hands that I really like to blow. Swipe, swipe, swipe.